Welcome to Live from the Funny Bone, bringing you the best in local, regional, and national comedy from our showroom here at the Eastern Town Center. I'm your host, Mo, and on tonight's show we have Ryan Connor and the Sierra Mist featured comedian of the week, Chris Anderson. Sit tight, we'll be right back. And we're back. Our first performer tonight we were lucky enough to have here at the Funny Bone before heading out to his college campus tour. Here's Ryan Connor.
So I'm originally from Southern Virginia, and my mom still has some friends in that area. One of them's on the school board in the county where I grew up, and she said that last summer this guy called an emergency meeting because he wanted to scrap the foreign language program in the school system altogether. And everyone comes in, they're kind of pissed they have to be there for this, and this guy thinks he has this brilliant argument. He stands up in front of this room of elected officials and goes, I don't think we need foreign languages because if English was good enough for Jesus Christ, it's good enough for us. And then he sits down like, what mother... Like if he had a microphone in his hand, I'm convinced he would have held it out and dropped it. He thought he was the Chris Rock of the school board or something. and my mom's friend is just confused, and she's like, sir, not only is that irrelevant, it doesn't even make sense. He gets this smirk on his face as if like, I'm ready for this one anyway. And he goes, well, ma'am, I don't know about you, but I've read the Bible, and I'll tell you one thing, it ain't in Spanish. And I don't even have a joke for that, really. I just want to point out that the world is going to end soon. We have like 3 years max, and then Jesus is going to return in all his English-speaking glory. Let's get ready for the rapture. Actually, pretty much everything in the school system there was backwards. Like I had my first sex ed class in 6th grade, which is right before I moved to D.C., and the entire program lasted 35 minutes. That was our entire education. Like you wonder why everyone in the South has kids at 14. Our entire education consisted of, it was a video where a woman made a pancake, and the pancake just happened to be in the shape of the female reproductive system. That's our education. It was like, see, it's a pancake. That's all we had. Like the woman points to the pancake and she's like, oh, this is the vaginas, the ovaries, the cervix. But we're 11 and we're like, what is the message here? Because all we're getting is the vaginas are awesome, and we're gonna love them if they're anything like pancakes. And I just think that outweighs the intended message of don't have premarital flapjacks. You know? That's lost in the video. So I was riding a car with one of my good friends and his coworker, and we didn't know his coworker at the time, so the conversation was really superficial. And then out of the blue, the guy just goes, man, hopefully by the time I get home, all my overweight seniors porn will be finished downloading. And then there's like 3 seconds of awkward silence in the car, where I thought we were all quiet for the same reason. And then my friend goes, what, do you have dial-up or something? I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not the weird part of what he said, man. I'm also pretty sure you just told on yourself. So thanks for that. I heard these guys having a debate on the radio. And it was funny because one of the guy's arguments on every subject was so ridiculous that you couldn't take anything he said seriously. Like they were talking about gay marriage, and the guy's argument was, well, if we let people of the same sex get married, next thing you know, people are going to want to marry animals and robots. It's like, where do you draw the line? I was like, I don't know, man. How about right before animals and robots? Like, especially when those are our 3 options. You're not leaving us with a lot of wiggle room there, buddy. And then he starts talking about how drug use is up with kids and how we need to be harder on the war on drugs. And I don't buy into the concept of the war on drugs because it's based on the idea that marijuana is a gateway to harder drugs. And I don't believe that because whenever people say it, they back it up with stats that just sound kind of weird and made up. Like this guy said 95% of people who smoke crack also smoke marijuana. And I was like, all right, he obviously made that up because crackheads don't take surveys. All right. Crackheads don't take anything except crack. Last I checked. So the only way that stat could be accurate is if there's like a socially conscious crackhead or crack dealer on the street who's quizzing the crackheads. Like they come up, hey man, let me get a rock. Would you care for some marijuana as well? Nope, just crack. Well, you do smoke marijuana, right? Yeah, mother. Thank you. On your way. And then the guy's last stat was his worst one because he thought this would clinch his argument. He goes, did you know that 1 out of every 3 people who die in car accidents go on to test positive for marijuana? I was like, so if you think about it, that just means if you don't smoke weed, you're twice as likely to die in a car accident. That is the best pro-pot statement ever.